Alex Yala hasn't even played her first match in Cincinnati, and yet the ticket story is already getting crazy. Because something unusual is happening around this 21-year-old Filipina star. Fans aren't simply watching Alex Yala anymore. They're traveling for her. They're buying tickets for her. And in some cases, tournament organizers are having to rethink where she plays because the demand is simply too high. So what exactly is happening? And is Cincinnati about to become the next stadium where the Eala Effect takes over? Let's start with Washington. Alex Yala arrived at the Mubadala City DC Open as one of the most exciting young players in women's tennis. But according to tournament chairman Mark Ein, at least 80% of ticket requests were related to Alex Yala's matches. That is an incredible number. Think about what that means. There were other major players in the tournament. There were established stars. There were experienced champions. But a huge portion of the ticket interest was centered around one young player from the Philippines, Alex Yala. And then she gave those fans an even bigger reason to celebrate. She won the tournament. In the final, Alex came back from a set down against Jessica Pegula and won 4-6, 6-4, 6-0. It was the first WTA Tour-level singles title of her career. It also made her the first Filipina to win a WTA Tour-level singles title. And suddenly, Alex Yala wasn't just a promising young player anymore. She was a WTA champion. Then came another huge change. Her Washington victory pushed her to a career-high ranking of world number 20. And that meant Alex Yala entered Cincinnati with an entirely different level of attention. But Toronto had already shown just how powerful her fan base could be. This is where the story gets really interesting. When Alex Yala was scheduled to play in Toronto, her match was originally placed on the grandstand court. That court had around 2,800 seats. But according to tournament director Carl Hale, demand for Alex Yala's match went beyond 5,000 tickets. So what did the organizers do? They moved her. Alex Yala's match was transferred to the much larger center court. And that is important, because this wasn't simply people talking about Alex Yala online. This was real demand. People wanted to actually be inside the stadium. They wanted to see Alex Yala play live. And when those fans arrived, they made their presence impossible to ignore. Philippine flags appeared throughout the stadium. Fans cheered loudly. And Alex Yala's matches created an atmosphere that felt different from a normal tennis session. Why? Because Alex Yala isn't just building an individual fan base. She's connecting with a massive Filipino community around the world. For many Filipino fans, Alex Yala represents something much bigger than tennis. She represents their country, their community, their pride. And for some fans, watching Alex Yala compete on the biggest stages of professional tennis is a chance to see someone from their community making history. That emotional connection is incredibly powerful, and tournaments are beginning to notice it. Now, Alex Yala has arrived in Cincinnati, and this time, she is coming in with even more momentum. She is a WTA champion. She is world number 20, and she entered Cincinnati as the 17th seed, the highest seeding of her career at a WTA 1000 event. And look at the names around her. Aryna Sabalenka, Iga Swiatek, Coco Gauff, Jessica Pegula, Elena Rybakina. The Cincinnati field is absolutely stacked. Yet Alex Yala continues to attract attention. And that's what makes this story so fascinating. She doesn't need to be the highest-ranked player in the tournament. She doesn't need to be the most decorated player. Fans simply want to know, when is Alex Yala playing? And then they want to be there. Now, you may have seen some dramatic claims online about Cincinnati ticket prices jumping from around $275 to $470, supposedly representing a 70% overnight increase. That would certainly make for a shocking headline. But we have to be careful here. Those exact figures have not been independently confirmed by a sufficiently strong official source. So we're not going to present them as fact. At Tennis Hive, we want the story to be exciting, but we also want it to be accurate. And honestly, The confirmed numbers are already impressive enough. Washington showed extraordinary ticket interest around Alex Yala. Toronto showed demand strong enough to move her match to a much larger court. And now Cincinnati gets Alex Yala as a WTA champion and top 20 player. That is the real Eala effect. But here's the part that could make this story even bigger. Alex Yala is only 21. Her career may still be in its early stages. She has already reached world number 20. She has already won a WTA title. She has already defeated elite opponents. And she has already created a fan base willing to travel and buy tickets to watch her. So what happens if she becomes a top 10 player? What happens if she reaches a Grand Slam semifinal? What happens if she wins a WTA 1000 title? Imagine combining those achievements with the fan base she is already building. That could make Alex Yala an even bigger attraction across the WTA Tour. Because the cycle is already starting. Alex Yala wins. More people discover her. More people become fans. More fans show up. More tournaments recognize her value. And Alex Yala gets an even bigger platform. That's how a player becomes more than just an athlete. She becomes a ticket attraction. And Cincinnati is now the next test. Alex Yala's first opponent is Amanda Anisimova, giving her another major challenge on a huge stage. So this isn't only about tickets. It's about whether Alex Yala can turn all this attention into another big result. She has already conquered Washington. She has already reached world number 20. Now Cincinnati is waiting. And if Alex Yala makes another deep run here, the conversation could become even louder. Because then people won't just be talking about the Eala effect. They'll be talking about the Eala effect plus winning. And that combination could be incredibly powerful. So what do you think? Is Alex Yala becoming one of the biggest ticket attractions in women's tennis? Would you pay extra to watch Alex Yala play live? Comment Eala Effect if you believe Alex Yala is creating something special. And subscribe to Tennis Hive for more Alex Yala news, match updates, reactions, rankings, and the biggest stories from women's tennis. Because Alex Yala's Cincinnati journey is only beginning. The trophy in Washington was historic. The crowds in Toronto were incredible. And now Cincinnati gets to see what happens next. The Eala effect is real. The only question is, how much bigger can it get?